Kobe Bryant, a lot of people know, very few people in this world don't know who Kobe Bryant is. You have a long way to go on this planet to not know who Kobe Bean Bryant is. And I said the planet. He's one of the most popular players in the world when he was playing. Kobe would have easily played into his 40s. Easily. Still been playing right now. He got drafted in 1996 and was easily one of the greatest NBA players of all time. He was 11-time All NBA first team. He was 9 times on the All Defensive team. He won the slam dunk contest. He played on the rookie team in '97 when they used to have a rookie game. He was the Naismith player. What's that? The prep player of the year in '96 in high school. Kobe's last play in the NBA was an assist. Somebody they say is a ball hog. The man has 6,000 assists. He played in 3 Olympic Games. 2007, he won gold. 2008 in Beijing, won gold. 2012, won gold. But one thing, all the accolades, everything that he's done, there's something that Kobe did that wasn't correct. Kobe Bryant is elected to not go with the Lakers training staff. Kobe Bryant had his own training facility, and the way he went about getting himself prepared for games and the mental aspect of changing things. And what had happened that in his life, that value that changed his life around for the better, is when he decided that it was time. He changed his diet. And that was the thing that was the best that he did. But when he changed his diet up, and that's when he decided that after the changing of the diet and the routine, his body changed. And as his body changed, he had to use these, his body became more susceptible to the change of the physical form. Kobe was trying to get through, playing through pain because he's done it so many times before. But it was what was causing the pain wasn't the actual daily grind of the NBA season. See, that adds stress to the body and as well as the mind, but it was the other games, the games you didn't see, that made everything just turn over upside down. Kobe would work out on his own. He has a couple of guys that he worked with constantly. Um, he would push himself to the limits, and once he gets to that limit, he would push even harder. And he puts so much burden on his body that even before the game, Kobe would practice and work out 3 hours straight before the game even starts. And as he got older and he changed his diet, he didn't understand the importance of rest. When you're older, you don't need to do all of that prep. Now you just do light work. Your body and muscle memory already is there. It already knows your body knows what it needs to do. All you have to do is really fine tune it. But you don't know at this point, when you're a basketball player, at what point is the age kicking in? At what point am I not Kobe Bryant, the one that's in control of anything anymore? At what point does all of that change and I'm just regular Kobe Bryant? That's where he needed to find that medium, that outlet. No one tells you when you're getting old. No one taps you on the shoulder and said, hey, you're old. That doesn't happen. And I would always tell people, after Kobe got the second championship in 2010, he never was the same from that point on. The grind. And that year, he fought and battled so hard that he broke something. So after he made it in that finals against Boston and they won, he had an ankle injury, and that was just missing 5 games there because of the injury. And in 2000, he signed a 3-year extension for $87 million with the Lakers to remain with the Los Angeles Lakers. And when he did that in 2010, that's when everything took its direction. They went in there, they won their championships, and it was a changing of the guard. Kobe was going through a lot, and it was because of that. People never knew how much pain he was in. In 2011, even though he was on the floor, Kobe Bryant had a very serious knee injury, and it was hampering him since he was playing in the last season when they won the championship. Kobe's knee injury in 2011, and the way he prepared to try to go for this three-peat, you know, he was pushing himself too hard. Where he needed to rest, Kobe insisted on prep. You gotta stay focused. Don't come in too fat to the other players. He's staying on the young players' back. And all through the season, you know, the ankle was never fully recovered because Kobe should have been out 2 to 3 weeks. He came back in probably about a week and a half, maybe a week and a half. And then he pushed himself to the limits to try to get the Lakers to the next level. Just get there. So he came into the season in 2012. He had an injured wrist. He went crazy. He scored like 40 in 3 straight games, and he was just pulling off all these amazing feats. And he was having a great season. And I just watched him push, push, and push. And I'm like, man, this dude at 34 years old is pushing himself so hard, was like grinding, that he broke down. And everyone was like, man, this guy is incredible. Because in the beginning of the year, what people didn't know is that he went to Germany. And what they do is take the platelets out of the rich platelet plasma surgery, the experimental thing that's not legal here in the United States. Only Germany would authorize it. And they take your cells, plasma, spin them around in this little tube, and then insert them into the knee, so you have rich platelet plasma into your knee and your ankle, which should make it back normal again and take away the pain. So Kobe's left knee, which is his takeoff leg, Kobe takes off on his left leg when he jumps in the air. And now that leg that's been bothering him, Kobe was feeling better than ever. Now, a lot of people don't know about this platelet plasma surgery and what it does. That technique is not meant for the NBA basketball player. Even though Kobe thought he was getting better, and he felt like, I'm on top of the world. He's flying up and down the court. He's doing all these wonderful things. It was just like he was on borrowed time. It was a matter of time before it acts up again. Kobe was playing and dunking the ball, and people was like, man, I got to get that, what Kobe did. Kobe went over there and got that platelet surgery. I got to get it. Then it happened again. He had to go back, get the platelet done, come on back. Now he's rehabbing. Then he's pushing more than ever, more practices, pushing harder, doing 3 hours, not telling anything back. Then, all of a sudden, now you got a torn Achilles in April, as he's trying to push the Lakers into the playoffs with like less than 10 games in the season. He was playing 40 minutes a night for 7 consecutive games. The most minutes he's played in 6 years. Kobe knew his Achilles was sore. See, that's the thing that most people say it just popped. Sometimes it does happen like that. But the majority of the time, it is really a burn, a soreness, where you could feel it's sore. And you probably need to rest. Because it's sore. And it needs to rest. And it needs time to recover. And he pushed it anyway, iced it down, and it didn't work. And it tore. And you're living a nightmare now, because now the whole spectrum has just changed. This is normally a career-ending injury for an NBA player. And for Kobe, he hadn't prepared for nothing else after basketball. It was still in his blood. He was scared to death. For the first time in Kobe Bryant's life, he was scared. For the first time in Kobe Bryant's life, he was petrified. Brought him to tears. He didn't know what was going to be next for him. That's the scariest feeling to him. This guy was fearless on the court, but for the first time in his life, he was scared. Because he didn't know what he would do if all of this didn't work. Now, I'm not going to tell you that knee replacement platelet surgery is a bad thing. It's not. It's not a bad thing. It could help and repair if you have an injury or soreness. It could help rejuvenate your entire leg back to normal. But you got to understand something. Those cells are not the same. Kobe came back and he tried to play, and he was just he wasn't the same. He just wasn't the same. Then he suffered a tibia platelet fracture in his left knee, which left him out for 6 weeks. The same left knee that was getting the play, that he was getting the problems with, that made him get the treatment for the plasma. So it takes protein from whole blood, remove some of the red blood cells, it's called the PRP, takes out the tendinitis. It's used a lot in like rotator cuff disease and things of that nature, or plastic surgery. you know um, the only problem is you'll have to continue this. And whatever you had before, it doesn't usually get better as when you alter these things, your cells take on the life form of what your body already is. It's like when you clone something. And this is what they had to learn by fault. They learned how to make clones. But the clones would always die out a lot faster. And they could not understand why the clones were dying. But the reason the clones were dying is because even though you clone something, and it might be, of different age, even though it's a baby, it has the cells of someone. Like if they made a clone for me and made another person, they couldn't make me another whole nother me. Couldn't make another 30-plus-year-old man. They couldn't do that. They would have to start from an infant. And that infant would have cells in his body of a 30-something-year-old person. So before that person is 10, they might be getting arthritis. They might be getting different type of, even though the cells may look young, they're aged. And because of it, even if you clone it, it's not the same. It's a synthetic version. And they learned that this was the reality of cloning. So even though the platelet-rich plasma, which is really your things, and they just altering it and putting it back, it's a temporary relief factor, but those conditions will come back. Kobe had already pushed himself to a limit, and all to keep doing these things are going to lead to a problem eventually, because those cells and everything in there are still old, and you keep pushing it, you're going to tear something. And he pushing himself to the limit till he broke something. But that was Kobe. He was going to do it his way, and he was going to play this way. And at the end of it, he was content. When he came back from the fibula, his body wasn't the same. His body didn't react the same. It didn't move the same anymore. It was not, didn't work. So the treatment he got will help out with any arthritis, tendonitis. He has all these treatments on his legs and arms and all of those different things. And everything else, man, it's like, that's it. So I've had a great, great time getting to know everybody, and I'm glad that you guys have stayed this long and rocking with me, talking basketball and things of that nature. Um, it's tough. But basketball, man, is like one of the things that saved a lot of kids in the inner city. It saved a lot of kids in the playgrounds. And some kids, it was just, you know, they loved this sport, man. Kobe loved it. Played it to no ends. But he would have played into his 40s. Something had to stop him in order for him to play for the betterment of himself. He had to be the one to say, I can't do this no more. And he was pushing himself so hard to be back to Kobe. And his body wouldn't allow it no more. It was breaking down. He had pushed himself to a limit. So when he went out and played that night and got that 60, it was for a comeback win. It was just symbolizing what Kobe Bryant was to this game. That's why he's loved, because he gave everything to the purple and gold. He had literally nothing else left to give. He gave you his all. And that was that. So if you love everything you heard today, don't forget to support the page. Hit the Cash App button and donate. My name's Carcino on the Cash App. Or you can hit the donate button in the Streamlab, whichever one fits your fancy. And I did read the messages you guys sent me, everybody, about my grandmother. Man, I love it all, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. My family appreciate it. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm out.